Hi, I'm Bruce Lorincz, and this show is called Bruce on the Loose. I talk to people in the school system, city government, and new stores that have popped up pretty soon. Coming around the corner, I'm going to do a show on The View, downtown Wadsworth, a new restaurant, and featuring next week the library. So please take a look at some of those shows if you are interested. There's something to learn for everyone, including me. We have the three seniors here from the speech and debate team and their coach, Sam Zulia. Sam, thank you very much. Stella Bruers, thank you. Jonny Burkhart, and help me out.
Anna Wallace.
Anna Wallace. You're the star of the show. She's been to the national a couple times. Sam, how did you become the coach of speech and debate for the Wadsworth team?
Absolutely. Thank you for having us. We really appreciate the opportunity. I am a Wadsworth alum from 2002, and I was on the team under the direction of Joe Gaines and Vicki Matthews, and I really enjoyed my time being here, helping, being involved in learning those skills, and decided to start helping out after I graduated. And I went to the University of Akron, and Vicki and Joe were going through a transition of coaches, and so I started coaching, and I stayed ever since. And then when Vicki Matthews retired around 2014, 2015, I transitioned to the head coach position.
So you've been there for several years now. You probably know your way around a little bit.
Yes.
And every year you pick up new things and help out the team?
Absolutely, absolutely. There's always a difference in how we communicate with students, what's going to be the best learning tools, recruiting, and of course COVID gave us a really big change in how we could communicate with students. So sometimes we get to do online tournaments, which we find are more beneficial for students because they happen maybe during the week or it's a different type of schedule, but really it's always evolving, it's always changing.
So COVID really didn't shut you down entirely. You still went on,
right,
but in a different media.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We had one of our best years during COVID. It was Anna's freshman year, and we were able to really thrive because of the support from Wadsworth Schools. We were able to use the building, and our students competed as individuals in classrooms, so they were socially distanced, and we were really able to take a situation that was really challenging for a lot of people and shine some light and really be able to be part of an activity and see it thrive, and we were really fortunate for that.
Can you break down the number of people on the team and various classes that they represent?
Yeah. So typically we've been averaging around 25 to 30 students on the team. Some years we have more, some years we have less, but I would say last year's class was one of our larger senior groups. We graduated around 14 members. And this past year, we're going to have about 8 members that are going to be seniors that will graduate. But of that breakdown, I would say it's about 8 seniors, and then there's probably 4 or 5 juniors, 4 or 5 sophomores, and then we had a pretty big freshman class that came in this year. There's around 10 members. So
I'm sure at the
really
first
excited.
year they really learned kind of
Right.
the foundation and learned the ropes a little bit and get their routine down. Stella, what about when do you begin practice? I think it's a fall and winter activity. When do you begin?
We usually start the begin before the season so we can get more familiar with our script and kind of feel more confident going into the season. Because you want to start off the season strong and not go into it not knowing what you're doing.
Do you feel like as the year goes on, you do become more familiar and you get better as the season goes on?
Absolutely. We always try to add things to our script to make it better, and I think it always improves.
What about some things that you've helped Jonny with? I think, of course, you kind of need to work together. If he's having a bad day, you might recognize that right away. How do you compensate for that?
If Johnny's having a bad day, I usually just try to cheer him up by saying, I don't know. I kind of just try to make him feel better about himself,
Yeah, no question about it. It really is something that you really do need to work together, cohesiveness, and the judges probably know that. They probably recognize that you need to work together. Jonny, why did you decide to try this category, duo interpretation? Tell us about what that is and why you chose that.
Well, duo is a two-person event, obviously. I started with Stella here because last year my cousin Kale, actually her brother, he did duo, and that kind of inspired me to want to do duo with Stella here. And it's really been great with her because we've been able to work together very excellently. Our flow is great. The judges actually comment on how well we work together, and that's just like the best thing about this because I get to be here with my cousin every week, and I really get to grow my relationship with her.
Yeah, I'm sure that really is very satisfying for you. And again, the judges, you know, some of them very experienced, some they just probably pulled off the street. I mean, you have a wide range of judges, don't you? How do you deal with that?
We have to just try and give a very consistent performance, honestly. We can't really help with the judges much. Like, sure, some of them are pulled off the streets, and maybe they don't know what they're talking about sometimes, but the experienced ones, we cater to them mostly. And then, really, it's just about giving a very consistent performance every week.
Yeah, I think that's really good, and the judges, again, would see your, again, maturity and your development and reinforcing one another. Anna, what about you? Have you always been in formative speaking category?
No, so I actually started off in a different category.
Okay.
This is still in the public speaking or public address area called declamation, which basically I didn't have to write my own speech. I picked like a TED Talk and I memorized it. It was written by someone else. I memorized it and I made it my own. And then that really helped me learn like the basics of public speaking skills and getting comfortable talking in front of people. And then my sophomore year, I decided to switch to informative, and I've been there ever since.
That's my Saturday morning walk with my dog, and Sunday too. On NPR they have TED Talks, and they're very, very good information as well. What are some of the little tricks of the trade you've learned over the years since you are two-time national qualifier? Am I correct? Mm-hmm. So what are little things you do to impress the judges?
I always try to like have just a fun performance to watch. I know myself not only as like a performer, but a viewer watching other people's speeches. I have fun when they're having fun in their speech. And so I always try to be as conversational as possible, emotional, and just like I'm standing up there, I'm talking, and I'm genuine and I'm having fun. And that normally people catch on to that and they like it too.
What about your routine? Saturday morning, you got to get up really early.
Yeah.
I remember driving my girls. I had my eldest is now an attorney, so I think the foundation, and my youngest is a minister, so I can attest that speech and debate is just wonderful. Do you have a routine?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have to wake up really early, and so it's hard to get peppy that early in the morning. But, we have some long bus rides sometimes, so you put an earbud in and you listen to some happy, upbeat music, and it's always fun getting to hang out with my team. I've met some of my closest friends on the team, and so it's always it gets me in the spirit just to hang out with everybody and talk and laugh before competition.
Coach, we just had a big tournament. You just finished that last weekend.
Yes.
How many teams were here? What about volunteers, how they helped make it smooth? And where did we finish?
Yeah, we hosted one of our larger events. It's the Grizzly Classic. So the Grizzly Classic pulls teams all from Central and Northeast Ohio. We even pulled one that came over from PA, from the Pittsburgh area, which was really a great time. We had over 800 to 900 students in the building that were competing, an additional 200 judges that were also judging the students, which was an awesome experience to see that many people come out right after Christmas and the New Year's, and they were able to spend it with us and kind of kick off 2024. So we were really excited about that. But it was in 2 different buildings, and it was hosted with our other coaches as well. So we have 2 other coaches, and that's Catherine Dannemiller and David Gailey. And we were able to kind of divide the work up a little bit to help manage that many teams, but it was a really great experience. The team overall finished 5th in our division, so it was a great finish. We have sweepstakes finish is what they call them, and that's where, similar to some sports like track or what have you, they're going to pull points from different categories, and each student really contributes to the overall success. They can have individual success, but really the overall team work and team success comes from students doing well in their individual categories. And these three here each earned top speaker awards. They each placed in the top of their category. But we had a couple others that had really great days and really contributed to that top 5 success. Of course, we can't feed all of these people and get them through our buildings as smooth without a lot of volunteers and support. And we partner now with the Wadsworth Band Boosters, and we have a great relationship with them that we have some parents that help manage the adult judges that are providing food and drinks and hospitality. But to feed over 800 kids and an hour and a half time for lunch, they can all attest that sometimes you get 15 minutes, right, guys? Yeah. Sometimes they got to grab a snack bar really quick, but really, our volunteers were just crazy efficient and able to get everybody through lines and really just keep the tournament moving and make it an enjoyable experience.
I'm sure with your years of experience, it helps to delegate. You know, the band
Definitely,
boosters,
definitely.
one less thing for you to worry
Right,
about.
right,
And then,
right.
you know, so again, some volunteer registration.
Yeah.
And who tabulates the results? If,
Well-
you know, Anna here finishes first in a round, how is that done?
That was actually one of the best things that came out of COVID for the speech and debate community. There was just immense improvements in technology, and now judges are able to do all their tabulation online, and they submit their scores using their laptop or an iPad, and those results go right into a software system called SpeechWire, and it actually tabulates, it collates their ballots, so students get their ballots. They can see their judging critiques immediately after the tournament's been completed and get their scores. But really, that was something that came out of COVID. It was a way that they had to communicate to thousands and thousands of students nationwide that were attending a tournament, was how to get students the information about what room they're going to be competing in, or how to get students their feedback. So SpeechWire is a software platform, and it came in and really made some leaps and changes during COVID to serve students, to serve judges and tournament hosts. So it helps create just a really smooth transition and smooth ability to manage a tournament. It
So
was
COVID,
really great.
COVID wasn't all bad. There were some,
Right,
certainly
right.
some
With speech and
some
debate, it
positive-
wasn't all bad.
Okay. Anna, what about the camaraderie? You will see your competitors at Worcester next week, or Norton, or Perry and Stark County. Can you describe the camaraderie with those competitors?
Yeah, I mean, you see mainly like the same people every single week at every tournament you go to from different schools. And it's fun watching each other's speech and complimenting each other, and we get to all talk to each other before rounds or after rounds. And it's a lot of fun meeting new people from different schools that you wouldn't have met outside of speech and debate. And so it's really cool that we all have shared interests, that we can just compliment each other's skills and have fun together.
What has speech and debate done for you? I would imagine your confidence. Some people just really don't want to be public speakers, and they don't want to stand up at a meeting and speak. It's one of the things that people get very fearful about. That probably isn't your problem, is it?
Well, honestly, it kind of is sometimes, but that's the whole reason I joined my freshman year, is because I didn't know how to talk to people, and I was really nervous to talk to people. And so I joined this, and I gained so many public speaking skills and just social skills, how I can talk to people I've never met before, or talk in front of an audience in a room. So it's definitely gained my confidence and helped me with my social skills, and I feel like I can use these skills like my entire life, even after high school.
No question about it. What are your plans after high school?
Well, I haven't committed to any college yet,
all right.
But my number one choice right now is University of Dayton, to major in marketing.
Home of the Flyers, right?
Yep.
It's a very good school, not that far away. I mean, you're far enough away that you
Exactly.
feel that you're on your own, but not so far if there's emergency or something like that.
Yeah,
Any other schools on the horizon that you're looking at?
My number two is probably Miami. Both my parents went there,
Okay.
so it's a top pick in our household, but that's pretty much it.
Johnny, what benefit has speech and debate helped you with?
I have to say, a lot like Anna, it's helped me with my public speaking skills and just my social skills in general. I mean, before I joined the team, I had trouble talking to people, and And since then, I've been able to really hone in on my skills and be articulate and not slur a lot of my speech. I used to actually have to take speech classes when I was little because I would slur my speech. But since joining Speech and Debate and going through all those classes, I've been able to really help myself with speech and talking to people in general.
What school do you face every Saturday that you really, haven't maybe done as well as you wanted to, and it's really a goal of you to beat that school?
I'd probably have to say Hoover or Louisville.
Okay.
Both of those schools have been very dominant in the category of duo lately. Even last year, Hoover did great. So they are probably our main competition.
What about your plans after you graduate? And that's 2024. That's not that long away, is it? No, that's just a couple months and you'll be on your own.
Yeah, I plan on going to Kent State and probably majoring in aviation. I really want to be a pilot.
Well, that's good. We need pilots.
Yeah,
we need
really.
pilots,
yeah. I want to travel, and they make good money too. So.
Yeah. Stella, what about you? What advice can you give to middle school students?
I mean, if they do end up joining it or they're already in it in middle school, to stick with it. Speech and debate can be really stressful and, you have to work a lot for it. But when you really put in that work and ethic, you really like to see the success and the results. And it's honestly worth it, so.
I understand you and Jonny have really done very well in your category. And what did they do? Did they qualify for the state tournament?
Yes, they have placed a number of times, and now they can earn pre-district qualification. Wow. And so Jonny and Stella just earned their last qualification this past weekend at the Wadsworth tournament. So that was, I think, really special. But one of their goals, which we set almost weekly now, is a goal of what is the objective for the week at that tournament. Is it to have improved scores? Is it to place in the top 6? And one of the goals at the beginning of the season was to earn their pre-district qualification to the state tournament. So now they don't have to go to the little district tournament, which is the state qualifier, but they're automatically now going to be registered to attend the state tournament in March, and that's going to be held at Worcester this year.
Any goals for the team? Jonny, you can chime in too, that you've done very well so far. Then Sam talks about objectives and goals each week. Where are you going this week, and what do you want to do?
I mean, obviously, we really want to do good at states, but I think one of our biggest goals is to qualify for nationals. That is honestly our biggest goal going into this, to really make it to the top competition.
Yeah, we really want to do well.
Yeah.
We want to win.
Do some of the judges give you good tips to go ahead and suggestions that would benefit the group as a whole?
Oh yeah, we get a lot of suggestions and comments. I mean, some obviously, like the ones they plucked off the street, they don't know what they're talking about.
Sure.
Yeah, a lot of the time we get good feedback.
Sam, we talked about the community and again, the businesses, people eating out and, going and filling up the bus for gas and everything. It's kind of a opportunity for them to also embrace the speech and debate team. How does that make you feel when the community and the parents and the staff here at the school embrace the team?
It makes us feel really great that we have the love and support from the community. We're in a fortunate district that really supports students in this endeavor. At times we do a lot of traveling, and there's sometimes a cost or expense that's associated with that. And really, we just appreciate how the community either comes out for those dine to donates, or they donate from small businesses, large businesses, and then of course the administration. Our administration is excellent with how they work with our students and really how they support them and their goals. And we feel as coaches, we try to encourage our students to do the best that they can. And really, our school district, we're fortunate, and our community, we're really fortunate that helps support them when they've reached a lot of those goals. And we need to find either the finances or the commitment, that outside commitment that might come from beyond the performer. to help fulfill that goal.
Stella, did I ask you your plans for next year?
No, you didn't.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I glossed over that. What do you want to do?
I'm not committed yet, but I
Okay.
do want to attend the University of Cincinnati for Fine Arts. I think it's a really nice school and I want to go there.
Yeah, it's a very nice school, really good school and all the way around, and it's really very, very good. It looks like we got some Ohioans. At least you're staying in Ohio. I'm glad because so many people go, they graduate and they leave. They go elsewhere, and I'm glad we have some good resources, some good people staying around. Well, what advice would you give middle schoolers? Should they try speech and debate? I mean, it's not a 4-year commitment. They could try it once. If they don't like it, they could, do something else, right?
Absolutely. I always say to try it. I mean, you never know what's going to happen if you join. I joined on a whim, kind of, and look where I am.
Really?
But I think it's great, just even if you learn one thing and you realize that maybe it's not for you, maybe you don't want to do this every single week. It is a lot of work, and I recognize when people put an effort in, and if they don't like it, they don't like it. But I think nobody leaves speech and debate worse than they entered.
Okay, what was your experience like at the Nationals? I think you're a 2-time national qualifier, is that
I am,
correct?
yes.
All right, how was that experience last year, and how would you maybe move up the ladder a little bit this year in placers?
Oh my, it's like a completely different ball game out there. I mean, when you're in Ohio, you're seeing the same people constantly, and Nationals is just, everyone you see is so good and so top tier. I mean, best of the best is basically all Nationals is. And it's fun to see all the talent, but it's definitely pushes you to want to do better and try to get as far as you can. I mean, making it to Nationals is an accomplishment of its own. But I think this year, hopefully, knock on wood, being my 3rd time going, I'd really like to see if I could do the best I could and get further up in those ranks.
I'm sure it really helps you to have that foundation and background there. You kind of know what to expect a little bit, and you won't be intimidated by all the other people or the fine performers in your area.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, anything else? How do your parents help you? How do they assist you in your goals?
My family is the biggest supporters of not only me, but our team. My dad judges debate almost every weekend. He does so much research, outside of tournaments, where we sit at the dinner table and we just talk speech. My mom judges like acting and speaking, and she helped out at our Wadsworth tournament with running the judges lounge or the concession stand with the band. And they love it. They love meeting the team and seeing the tournaments and how they work. And they're definitely my biggest supporters. They never try to pressure me into doing anything. They're just happy that I'm doing this and I'm sticking with it. They're just proud of me. I'm so thankful for all of their help to the team. Parents' help really makes a big difference.
No question about it, no question. Jonny, is there any time during your Saturdays that you may say, well, we should tweak this a little bit. We should kind of look at this. The judges have said this the last 2 or 3 weeks. Is there a time that you do go ahead and do some changes in your cutting?
Not too big of changes,
right.
but
Subtle?
Yeah, subtle changes, obviously. Yeah, so sometimes we have mess ups in the round. It's bound to happen, and we'll walk out and we'll be like, "What happened?"
You know you haven't done
we
your
know
best.
what happens. So we kind of discuss it in between rounds, and we're like, "What can we do better? How can we win this next round?" And it's really about winning each round at a time. That's what they tell us mostly. We really want to win every round, and then that's how you win it all, right?
So you don't want to hit a grand slam. You want to go ahead and hit that single and do your best.
It's a game of endurance, I have to say.
Endurance, okay. How many rounds would be, Stella, in a Saturday? How many rounds would you have to do your performance?
Sometimes there's 3, sometimes there's 4. It really depends on the tournament, but it definitely takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But as Sam says, 1 round at a time, it really helps, that saying. So.
Definitely. I always encourage them to do 1 round at a time. You focus on that one performance in that section of duo or info or drama, and you focus on doing the best performance you can do at that time. This past weekend, both Jonny and Stella and Anna performed 4 preliminary rounds, and then they each did a final round where they put together the top 6 and they perform it in front of a group of people and a panel of judges, so a couple judges at the same time. And that sometimes can take a lot out of people. And we always tell them, you know, it is an endurance game. It's kind of a marathon. It's not quite a sprint.
And it helps when you have 15 minutes to eat. Hey, take that sloppy Joe, put it down, or that energy bar.
Absolutely.
No question. What can you tell people what you receive from speech and debate? How has it changed you as a person?
Speech and debate honestly has been like the biggest support system for me throughout high school, not only with like team members, but coaches. I've met like my favorite people in the world from speech and debate, and it's made me so much more confident as a person, as a speaker, helping me like kind of grow up into an adult. I mean, that's what high school is all about, is preparing you for the real world. And speech has definitely done that by far. I feel like I'm ready. I can go out in the world and have a corporate job or something and be in a meeting and speak no problem. It's definitely done a lot.
Coach Sam was in between my daughters, and I can attest exactly. There was a great segue for me because my eldest is an attorney. Maureen graduated in 2001, and Lauren 2003, and Sam was kind of in between. Mm-hmm. And Lauren, the youngest, is a minister. So, I mean, I don't think that's the only reason, but it certainly was a good foundation, and it opens doors that might be closed to other people who are not involved. And I learned a lot today. I really enjoy and support. You know, we'll have to do this, Sam, again.
Yes.
When we know who's the national qualifiers.
Yeah.
I invite now. It's kind of like over the summer, right? It's kind of different schedule.
The national tournaments over the summer.
So we'll have to do that in mid to late May.
That'd be great.
And I know they'll be looking at graduation, but you're invited back.
Thank
and
you.
We'll do that.
Thank you.
And we should have did that before, but we'll correct that. We'll do a show on Bruce on the Loose. And thanks for viewing. And we enjoyed the company of all the young people and Coach Sam.
Thank you.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.